the Black people. We need to keep the money circulating back in the Black economy, Black entertainers, Black people that are celebrities, whatever you call it. Y'all need to understand that it's them against us, and we need to make sure that the dollar is circulating back into our own economy, because everybody feels so bold to call
the dry cleaners, the laundromats. Let's get rid of the liquor stores as well. Get rid of the Jordans you guys wear, the Nikes you wear, the shower caps, the Hondas, the Hyundais, all your car electricians, the electronics in your house, the Sony, the TV system, your sound system, the microphones that you guys use to rap and speak about awareness for the Black culture and the hip-hop culture.
You want to know why it seems like a civil war between the Black and Asian community? Well, the case of Cyrus Carmack-Belton, the case we're about to get into, has reopened tension between Black Americans and Asian Americans. Now some Black people are calling for boycotts of Asian-owned businesses. At the same time, some Asian and white commenters are using this case to attack Black people, mock Cyrus, and spread racial stereotypes. So let's go and get into how suspicion, race, and fear turned a gas station accusation into a national divide. On June 2nd, 2026, a South Carolina jury found Rick Chow not guilty of murder. The charge came from the shooting death of 14-year-old Cyrus Carmack-Belton. Cyrus walked into a Shell gas station in Columbia, South Carolina. He was accused of stealing bottles of water. Authorities later said surveillance showed he put the bottles back. He left the store. Rick Chow and his son, Andy, followed him. The chase went more than 130 yards. Then Rick Chow fired one shot. Cyrus was hit in the back. He died at the scene. The jury heard the case 3 years later and decided the state did not prove murder beyond a reasonable doubt. For Rick Chow, the criminal case ended. For Cyrus's family, the pain did not. Cyrus Carmack-Belton was 14 years old. He was an 8th grader at Summit Parkway Middle School. His school described him as intelligent, funny, quick-witted, and well-liked by his classmates. He wanted to own a tattoo shop one day. He wanted to be famous. Instead, people learned his name because of what happened on May 28, 2023. Cyrus was a child. He walked into a gas station and never made it home. The man who fired the shot was Chikei Rick Chow. He owned the Shell gas station on Park Lane Road in Columbia with his wife, Alice. Chow was born in Hong Kong and later moved to the United States. He attended college in Louisiana and worked as a computer science professor in South Carolina. His wife, Alice, was a CPA. They had 2 sons, Andy and Kenny. By the early 2010s, Rick and Alice were running the Shell station as a family business. Alice worked inside the store. Their son Andy sometimes helped. Rick carried a .45 caliber Glock while working. He had a concealed carry permit. The store had a long history of shoplifting, larceny, vandalism, vehicle theft, assault, burglary, and robbery. Rick Chow and his family had dealt with crime at that location before. On May 28, 2023, that history became part of the larger conversation surrounding the shooting. Before Cyrus was killed, Rick Chow had been involved in other firearm-related confrontations connected to the store. He was not charged in those incidents. In 2015, Chow confronted a woman who left the store with 2 cases of Bud Light and a package of boiled peanuts without paying. During the confrontation, the woman allegedly threatened to shoot him. Chow fired multiple shots at the passenger side window of her vehicle. No one was injured. Chow was not charged. In 2018, another confrontation happened. A man reportedly shoplifted a can of oven cleaner. When Chow confronted him, the man assaulted him. Chow fired his weapon and shot the man in the leg. The man survived and later pleaded guilty to charges connected to that incident. Chow was not charged. By 2023, Rick Chow had already fired his weapon during confrontations tied to the store. Some people saw that as a sign of a business owner who had faced danger. Others saw a pattern of armed confrontations with suspected shoplifters. Then, Cyrus Carmack-Belton walked into the store. On May 28, 2023, around 8:01 p.m., Cyrus entered the Shell gas station. Rick Chow, Alice Chow, Andy Chow, and several customers were inside. Cyrus had a backpack. Alice asked him to put it down. Cyrus put the backpack down and walked to the cooler. He took out 4 bottles of water. Then he put them back. Alice and Andy believed he may have put a bottle in his pocket. They questioned him. Cyrus denied stealing. He picked up his backpack and left. Authorities later said surveillance showed he put the bottles back. No evidence of shoplifting was established. The situation could have ended inside the store. It did not. After Cyrus left, Andy Chow followed him. Rick Chow also followed. The chase moved away from the gas station towards Spring Tree Drive and a nearby apartment complex. Prosecutors said Cyrus was chased more than 130 yards. That's longer than a football field. During the chase, Cyrus had a loaded Taurus 9mm pistol. He was 14 years old and was not legally allowed to carry it. The defense focused on that gun. The prosecution focused on the chase. The main question became whether Cyrus pointed the gun at Andy Chow. At some point during the chase, Cyrus fell. Andy and Rick Chow said Cyrus pulled out the gun and pointed it at Andy. Andy said he yelled that Cyrus had a gun. Rick Chow said he fired to protect his son. Rick fired 1 shot from his .45 Glock. The bullet hit Cyrus in the back. He died at the scene. Authorities later recovered a Taurus 9mm pistol near Cyrus's body. The defense said Cyrus pointed the gun. The prosecution said he did not. There was no clear video of the final moment. The case came down to testimony, evidence, and what the jury believed. The prosecution argued that Rick Chow murdered Cyrus Carmack-Belton. They said Cyrus did not steal anything. They said he was running away. They said he was shot in the back. They said multiple witnesses did not see Cyrus point a gun at anyone. They argued Rick Chow chose to leave the store armed, chase down a 14-year-old, and fire after the confrontation had moved far from the gas station. Solicitor Byron Jixon told jurors nobody testified that happened that doesn't have the last name Chow. The state acknowledged a gun was recovered. They argued Cyrus did not use it to threaten anyone. One prosecutor told the jury he chose to chase down an 8th grader. To the prosecution, this was an armed pursuit that never should have happened. The defense did not deny that Rick Chow fired the shot. They argued the shooting was legally justified. Their case centered on Andy Chow's testimony. Andy said Cyrus fell, pulled the gun, and pointed it at Andy. The defense argued Rick Chow fired because he believed his son was in immediate danger. They said the shooting was not about water. They said it was not about shoplifting. They said it was defense of another. The defense also pointed to Rick Chow performing CPR and reporting the firearm after the shooting. They argued those actions show he did not act with malice. Malice is required for a murder conviction in South Carolina. Before trial, the defense tried to get the murder charge dismissed under South Carolina's stand your ground law. The request was denied. Self-defense and defense of another remained central to the trial. The jury heard 2 versions of the final seconds. The prosecution said Cyrus was running away and never pointed the gun. The defense said Cyrus fell, pulled the gun, and pointed it at Andy. The prosecution said Rick Chow created the danger by chasing Cyrus. The defense said Rick Chow had the right to protect his son. The prosecution said the chase should have ended before anyone fired. The defense said the gun changed the situation. The jury was not asked whether the chase was wise. They were not asked whether Cyrus should have had a gun. They were asked whether the state proved murder beyond a reasonable doubt. The jury said no. On June 2, 2026, Rick Chow was found not guilty of murder. He would not face criminal punishment for Cyrus's death. Inside the courtroom, Cyrus's family cried out. Rick Chow bowed his head into his hands. Cyrus's family had waited 3 years for the trial. They listened to testimony about his final moments. They heard the prosecution say he was chased and killed. They heard the defense say Rick Chow acted to save his son. Then they heard the verdict, not guilty.
Indictment number 2023 GS 4007440. State of South Carolina, County of Richland versus Chikei Rick Chow. We, the jury, unanimously find the defendant, Chikei Rick Chow, as to the charge of murder, not guilty. Sign number 302, foreperson, June the 1st, 2026. Madam Forelady, was this your verdict and the verdict of the entire jury?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
Thank you.
Cyrus's death sparked outrage in Colombia. People gathered outside the gas station. They held vigils. They protested. Empty water bottles were arranged to spell Cyrus's name.
We're going to identify every one of those people who went in that store last night and destroyed it and looted it and stole stuff. What does stealing a case of beer have to do with a 14-year-old being shot and a person responsible charged with murder? Somebody explain that. What does that have to do with stealing beer?
For Cyrus's supporters, the case raised questions about racial profiling, suspicion, self-defense, and how black children are viewed. They saw a 14-year-old accused of stealing water, chased down, shot in the back, and then a not guilty verdict. For Rick Chow's supporters, the case centered on the gun and the claim that Cyrus pointed it at Andy. The verdict did not end the debate. It made it louder. Even though Rick Chow was acquitted in criminal court, the case may continue in civil court.
Tell me that this is not racially motivated, because I'm not supposed to be on social media anyway. But when I go and I look at my social media, I have racist people coming to my page, going under my son's pictures, leaving the most horrific things, saying that they're glad he's dead, good riddance, and I am tired. I don't want this to happen to any other child. No black or brown child should have to go through this. No parent should have to go through this. This has to stop today. And I just learned today that South Carolina, if it's a murder charge, that they cannot bring in any of your prior acts. Rick Chow shot 2 people before. Rick Chow accosted a child in that store and beat her up with a gun on her hip. And none of that information could be brought to light. And I do not think that is fair. And if that is on the law books, that needs to be changed. Because if that was not there, then my son would have gotten justice. And to allow this person to terrorize this neighborhood for 12, 13 years is ridiculous. And it's just showing that it's okay to treat black and brown people wrong, and it's not. My son loved everybody. He would tell me like, oh, Mom, you're being judgmental. You shouldn't do that. That's against God. And the devil shot him dead, and he laid right there. And we got no justice from South Carolina. It is disgusting, and I don't even know why. I have no words. But every day I will not be able to speak to my son, hear his voice change, see him grow, go to prom,
He will never get married. I would never hold my grandchildren, nothing. But Chow is able to go home with his lion son, Andy Chow, and they're able to have dinner with the wife, Alice, who all three of them came out that store and they chased my baby. And I think the entire family should be held accountable because it was racially profiled. And I do not think that it is right, and they all should be punished. And I don't know what laws that we need to create to help our people, but it needs to be done, and it needs to be done now. Cyrus should not be gone. None of our children should be gone from the acts of racism, from profiling, from any of that. He should be here.
Cyrus Carmack-Belton's family have said they plan to pursue a wrongful death lawsuit. A civil case has a lower burden of proof than a criminal murder trial. In criminal court, the state had to prove murder beyond a reasonable doubt. In civil court, Cyrus's family may still try to hold Rick Chow financially responsible. That will be a separate legal fight. Cyrus Carmack-Belton was 14 years old. He was accused of stealing water. Authorities said surveillance showed he put the bottles back. He left the store. Rick Chow and Andy Chow followed him. The chase moved far from the station. Then Rick Chow fired one shot. Cyrus was hit in the back. He died at the scene. Rick Chow said he fired to protect his son. The prosecution said he chased down an 8th grader and killed him during a confrontation that never should have gone that far. The jury found Rick Chow not guilty. That is the legal ending. Cyrus is still gone. His family lost a child. His classmates lost a friend. A case that started with 4 bottles of water ended with a 14-year-old dead in the street. Do you believe the jury got it right? Or do you believe this case shows a bigger problem with how self-defense is applied? Keep the comments respectful. Cyrus Carmack-Belton was someone's child, and he never made it home.
Neighborhoods, so you can circulate your money in our neighborhoods. This is why I tell black people we need to keep the money circulating back in the black economy, black entertainers, black people that are celebrities, whatever you call it. Y'all need to understand that it's them against us, and we need to make sure that the dollar is circulating back into our own economy, because everybody feels so bold to call us out. Everybody is saying, oh, I bet you they won't spend their dollar here and there. Show them what we can do. Okay,
That's what that
we
was.
own this.
I love when the black community says, let's boycott Asian businesses. Please do. We'll get rid of the Chinese takeout, the dry cleaners, the laundromats. Let's get rid of the liquor stores as well. Get rid of the Jordans you guys wear, the Nikes you wear, the shower caps, the Hondas, the Hyundais, all your car electricians, the electronics in your house, the Sony, the TV system, your sound system, the microphones that you guys use to rap and speak about awareness for the black culture and the hip-hop culture. Where do you think that's made in? That's made all in Asia. And here's another thing for you guys. You guys want us to leave the neighborhood so bad? Oh, Asian people are in our neighborhoods? We're in white neighborhoods. We have our own Chinatown. We have our own Koreatown. You think we really need you guys to benefit off and make money? A lot of us do go to college as well. You're being outworked by immigrants who barely speak English. And you're not embarrassed? Go to the bank, start your own businesses, and deal with your own people. I want to see your own women get on their hands and knees and do pedicures and manicures and deal with nasty-ass attitudes, okay? Please, boycott Asian business. I'm all for it.
Okay, that's enough of that. There's really no point in hashing through all the hateful messages being spewed all over line. But what I do want to do is take a moment to highlight any Black-owned businesses. So shout out your city and contact information down below in the comments, because a complaint can only go so far. But we all know the Black dollar make the world go round. So I'm going to leave y'all with some gems. Go support and stop hating. I really appreciate y'all's time here with me. And before you get in them comments, remember, in the words of MLK, hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. I'm out. I'll see y'all in the next one.
I couldn't wait to get home and do this video. This crackerjack right here, he was talking to y'all. He wasn't talking to me. You know why he wasn't talking to me? Because I shop Black owned. But let me show you. My hair products, right? Black owned. You know who this is. Black owned. Rice water, rosemary water, Black owned. Botanica oil, Black owned. For my locks, Black owned. If I wanted a dude, Black owned. Okay? For my kids, Black owned. Edge Control, black owned. Let me come over here. Edge Control, black owned. Now, if I wanted something for my body, black owned. Y'all know who she be. Black owned. Okay? We get this? Now, if I want to wash my face, black owned. Okay? If I wanted to smell good, black owned. Let me open it so y'all see. Black owned. If I wanted my house to smell good, black owned.
So I just had customers come in and say that we need to make some content because people are asking for black-owned businesses. I don't have no content ideas, so I'm just going to show you the store. So we are Personal Treasures Beauty Supply Store located in Greensboro. We are black-owned. It's my granddaddy and grandparents own the store. And we're the only people that work here. You will never see anybody but me or my granddaddy work in this store.
Hey, Seattle, let me tell you about Legacy Hair and Beauty Supply, located at 5719 Radier Avenue South. This shop has everything that you need, from natural hair to color to jewelry. And guess what? It is so Seattle. As I was walking around, taking it all in, taking a look at all their amazing products, I happened to run into their owner, Pat.
The owner, my name is Pat Butler Lathan. It's a safe place for people to come and just be themselves and walk around, see what we have. And we're both friendly, and we just like to learn about people and what they want to
go to a black-owned beauty supply store here in Harlem. All right, y'all, check this out. Black-owned beauty supply right here in Harlem, 145th between 7th and 8th Avenue. I think it's this store. No, it's this store. Hi, how are you? Good. I'm here to
I want to talk to the owner. Okay, 1 second. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. All right, how can I help you?
Real quick, can you repost this so everyone can know that this is a black woman's own beauty supply store located in Loganville, Georgia?
I know who I am. My name is Cam, and a year ago, my mom and I, we purchased this beauty supply store that I'm in right now, Star Beauty Plus, a previously Korean-owned beauty supply store right here in Cleveland, a 50-year-old beauty supply store, and we purchased it in 2024, officially becoming black-owned, one of the few black-owned beauty supply stores, not only in Cleveland, but in America. It's not many black-owned stores.
The moral of the story is this: you ain't licking this.
I'm a black farmer, and I heard a certain Asian person say that we need them in order to survive on their food. Well, no, that's not true, because I'm a black farmer, and if you live in Oregon, make sure you contact me, because I got my own spare ribs, got my own shoulder roast, got my own hams, got my own bacon, got my own hogs, got my own pork chops. I raise just about any kind of animal that you can think of. But black farmers, maybe the Asian community needs a little bit of an update. We were the slaves in this country. We can raise meat. This country, for the longest time, was surviving off of the meat that we were raising. And we can do produce. We did hoodoo, conjure, root work. We were root doctors. We know how to grow things. So if you are in Oregon, please contact me. Every state, every black farmer in every state, make a video like this and make sure you let the black community know that we are here to feed them.
Hi, this is my wife, Mia, and our daughter, Ty. We're the owners and founders of Happy Bamboo Toilet Tissue.
Hi, everyone.
And this is Mr. Happy Bamboo.
Happy Bamboo Toilet Tissue.
And we still need your help getting Happy Bamboo into every home, every university, and every workplace out there. When you choose us, you're choosing comfort.
Hey, everybody. It's time for the Happy Bamboo Dance. Follow me, step, sway, and smile.
You heard the little one.
Let's do it. Come on.